All right, well, I'm refreshed, Jesse. So let's do some questions. What do you think? Should we start with a call? Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah, let's start with a call. We got a call from Erica, and she's going to talk about anxiety and time block planning.
Hello, my name is Erica. I am a return caller and general asker of questions. Today, my question is regarding anxiety and time block planning. So, one side of me loves to have my schedule set so I don't have to think about it. But when I get to the day where I have something planned at a certain time, I get anxiety because there's this other side of me that loves flexibility. I do like schedule throughout my day some unstructured time, but and once I start an activity, I'm usually happy with doing the activity, but I just get a lot of inertial pre-event anxiety and just, a feeling of not wanting to do a certain thing at the time I have it. So I'll give a good example. Like I schedule a reservation at a restaurant, like a month in advance or something that I'm really excited for. But when the day comes, I just don't like feeling boxed in and having to be at the restaurant at a certain time. But then I get there and I love it. So, do you have any like tips or thoughts on how I might be able to just get over this? I don't know. I don't know the right term for it. I guess pre-inertial anxiety towards a structured schedule event. All right. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.
Well, I mean, Erica, this is similar to what we were chatting about at the top of the show about the resistance I feel to restarting my full time block planning system at the beginning of the fall. You're feeling this, but basically on the scale of individual scheduled events or blocks. Same underlying mechanisms, and it's quite normal. Our brain does not understand. By understand, I mean has not been evolved over deep history time, the last 2 to 300,000 years where modern Homo sapiens have walked the earth. It has not evolved to work with scheduled events. It's not evolved to work with, I am now going to start doing this task because it's drawn up in a box on a piece of paper. I am now going to head over to a restaurant to eat because it's in my planner that that's what happens next. That is not how our motivational loops are evolved to actually function. They're functioning. They're meant to function on much more immediate and clear stimuli. We need more food. We're going for a hunt. This person who's in front of me, who I can see. So all of the social networks that take up so much of my neuronal space in my brain are all fired up and looking at this person in front of me who's a part of my tribe who's asking for my help. Oh yeah, we're going to go help that person. We expect these more acute stimuli. The brain does not understand a small box written in one of these or a little green glowing screen box on your screen, your Google Calendar for an appointment. It doesn't understand that. So we have some trouble literally getting the motivational system to put the right chemicals into our system that gets us up and actually moving. There's something called the ventral striatum that's involved in this. The neuroscience gets complicated. Details don't matter. We'll get Andrew Huberman on the line if we really want to get into this. But let's just rest assured this is what our brain does. Different people, Erica, have different reactions to this mismatch. Right? So some people it's, whatever. Yeah, you have to just kind of bull rush into the task, then you get going. It's minor. Other people like you, Erica, the mismatch triggers anxiety, which again, chemicals. Like anxiety is a physical feeling. There's a constriction in the chest. There's a difficulty in the breathing. You can do some self-scanning and say this is just physical, hormonal, chemical driven reaction. The autonomic immune system or nervous system rather is involved in this. And so for you and a lot of other people, this mismatch can create literal anxiety. The thing we have to do about this, put bluntly, is sort of ignore. I mean, we can recognize my brain does this, just like my knee hurts when a storm is coming. But beyond recognizing it, we still go forward. We still go forward because let me tell you, let's say you get rid of your time block planning during the day. Like, let's just rock and roll so I don't have to have the anxiety of having something scheduled. You're opening yourself up to a much more existential anxiety because you're going to just ping pong back and forth, randomly putting out fires, not making progress on things that are important, forgetting about things, having to scramble at the last minute to get things done. This is not, from a physiological perspective or a psychological perspective, a better subjective experience. It's a deeper existential anxiety you're going to feel. So you're trading one for the other. Same thing if, you don't go to the restaurant, you don't go to the party. You're not going to feel better. You'll get like relief in the moment because you're resolving the mismatch, but you're not around friends. You're not doing interesting things. And, I get that too, Erica. I don't get anxiety around blocks. If it's just work I've put aside, I just get normal resistance. When you throw there's different aspects. Sometimes there's social aspects. So this might be what you have. There might be like a social aspect in there where there's a little bit of social anxiety. So that could exaggerate it. I don't have that so much, but I have, as I've talked about on the show, these weird, deep rooted issues with surrounding sleep. And so I'll sometimes get this around events if they're at night. Like, I don't know how late it's going to go and what my sleep. And you know what I've learned to do is say, okay, thank you, brain. Welcome, anxiety. I'm glad you're here. Chemicals. You'll pass soon. And I'm going to go on and keep doing this thing. So that's what I say, Erica. It's natural. It's not that you shouldn't find it that interesting in the sense of like, yeah, here this comes, it'll go. And you make the plans that are good. You execute the plans and find pride in your action and not give so much attention to the physiological. It's going to do its thing. And then, Erica, you're going to do your thing.
Because more often than not, it's going to be like an enjoyable experience too, like going to the party or going to the gym or
and that's
going to a game or
that's
something.
what I'm trying to separate here is like how much we're dealing with the planning mismatch with Erica, which is a real thing. I mean, sometimes anxiety, a lot of times it's just procrastination. It's like really hard for people to get started on things that are planned in some sort of abstract or arbitrary system. And there's also social anxiety. And she's mentioned both in the call. So I'm assuming they're kind of all mixed together.
Yeah.
I mean, social anxiety is its own thing, which again is completely natural because our brain is so attuned to the sociality that a lot of what 21st century social life is not exactly what our brain expects. It expects like, this is my tribe that I am around all day.
Yeah.
I'm with them all day. It's why I'm miserable when I'm alone. But if it's strangers and there's some people I don't know and it's in like a bar I haven't been to, the brain is like, I don't know about this.
Mm-hmm.
Some people care more than others. You have negative social anxiety as far as I can tell. You love people and you love doing things.
Well, I'm around a lot of people a lot, like in my other jobs and stuff. And then, I do a lot of things too, I guess.
That's a spectrum. See, like probably for you, the way that wiring is set up is you see the potential or opportunity in a novel social environment. Like, oh, something cool could happen. I could meet someone interesting. Maybe I'll see something interesting. And for other people, it will be, but what happens if I get there and like I can't find the person, or like as I walk into the room, like I'm immediately catch on fire or whatever it is.
The waiter spilled his water on me.
Yeah. Immediately. I had a friend, we used to joke about that. We'd be anxious about like going to a bar we'd never been at before. And we try to one up each other on our predictions for what was going to happen. And it would usually end up with like, as the door opened, just 3 or 4 people already at a full sprint are just charging you to take you down and to beat you with some sort of like bats or blackjacks. So we'd see like how exaggerated we could make the story that would, explain some social anxiety. Like as soon as you're in the door, it's just going to be like, fire, boys. And like immediately there's someone with a flamethrower and, we go over the top.